Well, one of the huge games of the weekend in the Premier League sees Mikel Arteta's Arsenal travel up to Anfield to face Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. Now, he's had 100 games in charge, Mikel Arteta, and it's a good point, I think, to analyse exactly where he's taken this Arsenal team. So many of those new signings seems to have bedded in. They're unbeaten in their last 10 games. The only real test I think they've had in there, though, is the game against Leicester. They played really well, but there have been, I think, a few games in there that even the Arsenal fans will say that they were lucky to come away with a point or a win from. So, James, where do you see them right now under Mikel Arteta? How much improvement has there been?
Well, no, I know in football people want to win trophies, but I think to garner the respect of Hugh Woozencroft from a few weeks ago, when a man of his caliber says this guy needs 5 wins out of this first 10 games after you lose your first 3. Now that is impressive. And he has done that. 11 games so far, 6 wins, 5th in the league. I don't think we expected this, a little while ago. What I love is that I think there's clarity there now. I think he knows who he wants to play. And I think they're getting chemistry between them. I think when you see them play, there's lots of nice little pairings on the pitch. Ben White and Gabriel. You've got Saka and Tomiyasu. You've got the midfield too, Lokonga and Partey there. You've got Aubameyang and Lacazette as well, all over the pitch. These lovely little pairings that are sort of coming together. Was there an element of luck or sort of grit, maybe, if you want to be really positive, in those initial wins against Norwich and Burnley? Yes, there was. But sometimes you've just sort of got to get up and start walking forward. And I think that's what Arteta's done really, really well. And I think the best thing that you can say as an Arsenal fan right now is the fact that you go into this game not dreading it, but actually feeling like this is a free hit for Arsenal. The question for me is, if this is an Arsenal side that's going to go on and develop and become a really, really strong team that gets back into Champions League football, yes, this is a free hit, but I want to see them smell blood. I want to see, you've got a Liverpool team that has quite a few injuries for this game. Can Arsenal go into this game and not just sort of survive, go and thrive in a very difficult away game that often sees a bit of heartbreak and certainly a lot of goals? I've been really impressed. I think, look, keep calm and carry on. But I think the important thing is that they're moving in the right direction. And I think you can see a unity and an identity in this side at the moment. You're shaking your head, but he did everything you asked. He did everything you asked. What?
I'm shaking my head at the idea that you smell blood going away to Liverpool. Come on, it's Anfield. You don't smell blood. You got to
be brave. You got to be brave. That's because it is a free hit.
5 times Arsenal have visited Anfield. They've conceded at least 3 goals. They've lost every time.
Yeah, maybe they smell their own blood. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they're licking their wounds. But to be perfectly honest, when you think about Arsenal going to Anfield, for me, it's not necessarily about the result. I know you say it's a free hit. I don't think it's a free hit. Don't think they can go and get mullered by Liverpool, because I don't think they can. That's unacceptable. But they have.
I don't think there's any expectation, though.
No. But no, there should be expectation. That's what I'm saying. There should be expectation of at least a very solid performance. You have to go and be competitive against Liverpool away from home. You can't go and think losing 3-0 is acceptable. It isn't. If you're going to be a side that's in there for the top 6, you should be able to go away from home to Anfield and hold your own, even if you lose, because we know they can beat anyone on a day. They're a sensational side, Liverpool. Yeah, you should be able to hold your own. It's a big test for the younger players, of course. If you're saying that Liverpool aren't at their brilliant best, then fair enough. Maybe they might feel a little bit more confidence from that. But really, I don't think they should. I think getting off the bus at Anfield, they should know how difficult it's going to be. But the idea that they're going to go to Anfield, play like they have in previous years, come away with a really bad defeat, and everyone's going to say, well, that's acceptable. I don't think it is.
I think you're right. You want a performance.
For Arsenal to show progression, they need a performance. That as far as I'm concerned. Will they get it? I think that's something different. I think this side is young, it's fledgling, it's just come together. They had that nice run. They were playing consistently together. Maybe having 10 days, 2 weeks away from one another will dent that rhythm slightly. Liverpool, we know, are a well-oiled machine, maybe can cope more easily with these breaks. They have, they've been in Champions League finals. They've been in the FIFA Club World Cup. They've traveled together. They know what it's like to be apart, to come back together regularly. And of course, they're at home, which will help them. So obviously, I don't think you're going to predict anything but a Liverpool win. But for me, it is about Arsenal showing that progression. Interestingly, I had this debate a little bit earlier on this week. whether the Arsenal fans would accept them sitting in, or whether they want them to go and try and express themselves away from home against Anfield. Because again, that will show us where Mikel Arteta has this side. If they go to Anfield and try and have a go, and it works, imagine that. Imagine the reviews on Monday.
Well, I think, look, they need to play on the counter-attack. I think that's understandable and would be expected. I think what's great is the back four is much stronger than it used to be and much more resolute. In terms of playing on the break, which I expect Arsenal to do in this game, there's one man who he's the ultimate eye test player, because in terms of his output, Emile Smith Rowe, you don't see many touches. He averages less than 50 touches a game, which for someone who people think is kind of a playmaker is not a lot of touches, but he's a facilitator for this team. That's a great article in Scouted Football from Phil Costas. He was saying that he sort of greases the wheels for this team in terms of moving them up the pitch, because he can do a bit of everything. I know you saw him recently on international duty. What are your thoughts on Emile Smith Rowe? I personally think he's truly one of those ones where when you watch the game, he keeps the eye test alive. I know there's so many stats in football now, but when you watch him, you go, wow, the sort of areas that he picks up, sometimes not even getting on the ball, but just freezing an opponent to allow space for other players. I absolutely love him, and I think he's going to be crucial in a game like this. What do you think about Emile Smith Rowe?
You're right on that. Look, you'll all tell me in the comments, a player, I can't remember his name. There was a player in the NBA. His passing stats, his shooting stats, horrendous. You know, he never put up numbers. And a statistic company worked out that the team scored many more points when he was on the pitch because of his work rate and his positioning. Where he was on the pitch actually facilitated their better players to play better. You know, he was good at organising, for example. I think Emile Smith Rowe, is one of those players where he's just there. He's buzzing around. He's trying to find that hole. He's trying to find that space. He's trying to put someone else into the position to do something special. And most importantly, he does get on the end of things in the penalty box and affect the game in that way as well. And I think that's where we see that, you know, the goals being scored in the Premier League. I think scored 3 in a row, didn't he? And he was the 4th player under the age of 21 to ever do that in an Arsenal shirt. I think that was really important as well. But I think when you're looking at what he can do, Emile Smith Rowe, it's going to be really interesting to see if he can improve, if he can take that further. I don't necessarily know whether he is as talented as we think, but I certainly believe he can improve as a player.
For Liverpool, regardless of the result in this game, they won't be top of the table. They are top of the table when it comes to injuries, though, which I think was the main concern for a lot of us when it comes to their title tilt. Going into this game, I think it's just about getting those 3 points, whatever way you can do it. And of course, they'll be leaning on Mohamed Salah once again. That said, I believe in this Arsenal team. I think they've got a chance. I think they're going to pinch another draw for Liverpool. And I think on the other side of it, we're going to be talking about how Liverpool are going to draw too many games, and that's what's going to cost them this season. I think Arsenal will get themselves a draw, maybe 1-1, maybe even 2-2. Could be a thriller. What do you think, Hugh?
I could go one or two ways, to be perfectly honest, but it wouldn't surprise me if the old Arsenal was back and they were a little bit fragile, because I think they will be a little bit fearful. You know, it's like walking into the ring with Mike Tyson, to be perfectly honest. You know, they're going into the belly of the beast. Yeah, I think Liverpool could win this pretty comfortably. I'm going to go 4-1.
Hi guys, James Allcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.